Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Sandbox. Sandbox has recently come down quite a lot, and this of course increases again the downside potential for Sandbox. An imminent uptrending scenario and imminent upside potential has not yet been invalidated, but of course if you come lower to a very important support line, also where you are at a risk of invalidating it, then this will make it less likely that we start another uptrend. So let's take a look at where we are. In the last video, so we were just climbing up here on this ascending trend line, showed you that trend line and said, you know, if you break below that trend line, then Sandbox will have a difficult time. Now, exactly after it broke that trend line, you can see how the downtrend began. So first of all, it found support at the 200-day moving average here in yellow. So we came down with a huge engulfing red candle, bearish signal. So here you could have seen that we're already turning down. Yeah, I mean, even here, this was a big signal, wasn't it? This was actually the first signal. And this was when we moved up, had a huge wick to the upside. And then that red engulfing candle, which is engulfing the previous price action. And that is, here on the 8-hour chart at least, a good signal that the price is turning. Especially afterwards, we only made a lower high. That was the second sign that things are turning around, and the confirmation you then saw when, I think you will see it better on the 8-hour chart, the confirmation we then had when we broke below the ascending trend line. And the very last confirmation point, I think, was, for everybody who wanted to wait a little bit longer, was that we broke actually here. So first of all, another huge engulfing red candle after a consecutive lower highs, and then below the 200-day moving average, yes, a retest, but only a lower high again, and that is when it started. So at the latest here at this point, this was a very important point to understand that, yeah, probably the downtrend is beginning. Have a very impulsive move down, and we came down to that, exactly to that support level that I gave you in the previous video. Here at 263, I haven't added that line. That is the line that has been there before, and I told you that an uptrending scenario is still valid as long as we hold above 263, 264. You can see we did that. Why is that so relevant? It is relevant because when we look at what we did here, this is the blue target area that we defined, I can't remember, December maybe, where we talked about that it is very likely that the price is going to come into this area and turn around here. Now that happened. We then saw a first impulse emerging, first 5-wave move up. That is always what you want to see to be more confident that you get back into an uptrend after a long downtrend. First 5-wave move and a 3-wave move down. Good signal, good sign. Yeah, first 5-wave move, first 3-wave move down. And that's also why I always say that if you get a first impulse, typically you get another ABC wave down, another entry point. Now that hit exactly here the target area that I gave you for that ABC move. And we are still in the area, which is why I left it on the chart, because we tried to exit it. But of course, with the latest downtrend emerging, we moved back into it. And yeah, we are currently reacting to that area. And yeah, I mean, we came back into it. And this is now where we had in the last video the potential that we had another impulse here, wave 1, 2, and this could have been a wave 3. The problem is that, of course, this is not a wave 3. It has not reached the minimum level for a wave 3 it needed to reach. So that would have been, so for a wave 3, you need to get to at least the 1.618 FIB extension. And that would have been at least 394. Now we have only reached 385. Okay, so it's not really a wave 3. And then also, of course, when we broke below the trend line, we came down far too much. So yes, of course, it could be a wave 1, 2, another wave 1, 2. That's possible. However, we are now still hovering around that support line. If it is another wave 1, 2, what should happen now is a wave 3. So in that wave 1, 2, in that wave 2, you should not come below 263, 264. If you do it, it's invalidated. That's it. Yeah. So the downside potential is getting much more real. Of course, we are just starting again at a very important support level, and that's always an important, a potential opportunity, a pullback. Yeah, but bear in mind we don't really see volume at the moment, so it is risky to go long here, but it's a possibility for anybody who wants to do it. I think what we could happen here, however, is because we are so close to the support level again, it is a head and shoulder that might be forming here. So you have your left shoulder here, you form your head here, and this might now become a right shoulder. So the imminent price potential that we have is to get to this 345 level, that previous high, that resistance level also here, where we could not get above in a sustainable way. So if this happens, and if we start to see an uptrend and bounce off that 345 level again, then come down again to the neckline here at 263. Yes, I think then we have a head and shoulders that has played out. Well, it only will play out if we break down, and that would be a breakout below this 263 level. It would take us to the 147, 150 level. That would be the support level, the lowest area of that originally defined blue target area for that overall move of the correction. Yeah, so that would still be very valid, because there is still significant risk that we once more get into this, where we actually still are, that we once more get into this larger target area for this overall correction. And the risk is still that the correction isn't over yet, unfortunately, as we can see it. Would have been great if the price could have pushed on from here, then had a wave 4 down and a wave 5 up. That could have completed in this larger degree wave 3, yeah, because you had your wave 1 here, moved down in a wave 2 here, moved up in a wave 3. That could have taken us into the region between $6.30 and $7.20. However, that would have only worked out imminently had we made here in this smaller wave a wave 1, 2, then a wave 3 up, 4 down and 5 up. That would have been a larger wave 3, but for now it's not worked out. It's still possible though, because this, as I said, could just be a 1-2, 1-2, which would be bullish, but then we need to start from here, need to see volume get in, and we're just very close to invalidating that possible uptrend. So we need to be aware of that. Yeah, so that 263, 264 level is like a magical level. Even if you break that, you've got one last chance. That would be here, 255. That is the wave C low that I've got highlighted here. Yeah, 255. If you lose it, that's it. And I think then we get down to at least, well, not at least, but possibly then we really get down to that 150 level. What is that fib area or that blue target area based on? So I'll show you with the Fibonacci retracement levels. So I just need to move that around. Start at the low here. Yes. Okay, so we start at the low here when that uptrend started, go to the high, and it starts at that 150 level, the 88.2% fib level. Then we've got the 78.6% fib level here at $2.26. Yeah, that is within this target area. And then I have originally I had the target area all the way up to the 61.8 at 360, but of course I narrowed it down now that it was reached. So it is sort of sitting between the 88.2% fib level and the 61.8. This is where a wave 2, that was the larger correction here, most likely will finish. But yeah, we have not really moved away from it enough to really invalidate that downside potential. I think that would be likely above here, above the previous swing high at 487. If we manage to break above that, I think the immediate downside potential gets much reduced. But at the moment, there is still a lot of risk that we dip down in the blue target area once more, especially as very recently that ascending trend line, that imminent uptrend, was broken. So hopefully that makes sense. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership, where you can get access to my own buy and sell orders on Discord, various Telegram live chat rooms, and the weekly live stream. And there is another weekly live stream tomorrow. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And for both, you can find links in the description as well. There we are posting additional stuff that we wouldn't normally post on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.